It's the strategic objective presentation, Fountain Valley Unhoused Population Information Publication, presentation by our Fountain Valley Police Chief, Matt Shepard.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and Council. As you stated that tonight is a presentation on one of our strategic objectives where we staff got together with council, came up with some goals and objectives for staff to work through, and tonight is an update on one of those goals that completes it. And I'm going to read the goal to you real quick. This is what came out of our collaboration together. Design and present to the City Council a publication that identifies a focused approach to support a continuum of care and crisis support for the unhoused population in Fountain Valley. And success for this objective will be the creation of a publication that informs the public how the city provides a consistent, well-developed approach to assisting our unhoused population. On this fact sheet, I've given council one of these. It's a two-sided. It is the spring of 2023 edition. This is going to be a living document, and we can make changes to it. It'll be published on the city's website. There'll be the links to the assistance resources will be active on the website. We'll have this available at City Hall and the police department. We'll also make it available at community service buildings. So overall, what we did is we took a look at what was important to us and what was important to the public. We talked about what our mission is, where we've come from, where we're currently at, and then some long-term goals. And we also incorporated some affordable housing into it. And then we addressed parks and public space locations to give the public a little bit more of an understanding of the restraints that we're under, but the success that we've had in achieving clearing those locations out. We also added an area that where the public can look at and pick from these or choose to do all of them to help them mitigate an accumulation of homeless persons on their property. There's a bunch of resources on here, and then there's also some data that it goes along with this. It's on the front side. I thought it was really important to recognize that since March of 2020, when we brought CityNet in, we've had 40 persons move and transition into shelter. And then it shows what our point-in-time count is for 2020, and I'll talk a little bit about that later. And then it also shows how many calls for service the police department is running. We track how many we're running every single year so that we have an idea of what our needs and objectives are. So that's the publication. You all have it. There's a stack out in the lobby, and it is ready for people to start taking. I just noticed. So on the agenda for tonight, this was the strategic objective, and we're going to take a look at some data. We're also going to review a success story, and there's also some future items to consider, and then we'll follow it up with some questions. So we looked at the strategic objective. We also just took a look at our fact sheet. I know for the public that's watching this, it's probably a little bit small, but it will be available on our website. And it's a two-sided document. And then I wanted to dive into a little bit of data. Councilmember Canine is new to the council, and he has not been present for one of these unhoused persons review that I've done. I do them a couple times a year. So this is our police department calls for service. You can see we track the numbers every single year, and there's been a steady increase. In 2022, we saw a 10% increase in the calls for service, but couple that with the community resource officer initiated calls for service, that also increased 19%. So we're increasing the amount of frequency that we are engaging with the homeless population. We also have a follow-up that increased 13%, and then our arrests is up 26% for calls for service. So that's not our police officers actively looking for arrests. It's when we get called out by a resident or a business owner to take some sort of action, and that's the action that we take, and those numbers are up as well. So that's a little bit about our calls for service data. And then this is our point-in-time count that was done via the county and CityNet, our vendor or contractor who works for our city. They're the ones that helped the county go out and count all of the unhoused population. This is Fountain Valley numbers. And you'll see that we didn't track 2017, the sheltered. That was not counted by the county. In 2019, the Fountain Valley had 14. We got 14 persons in a shelter. And then you look at 2022, and there's a 0 there. 2022, we were very successful as well. There was an increase from 14, but because we don't have a dedicated shelter in the city of Fountain Valley doesn't get credit for those numbers. We utilize the Yale Navigation Center over just the other side of the border in Santa Ana, and they get credit for those individuals. So it's okay, as long as we understand that. And then when you look at the hard numbers of the unsheltered, you saw an increase from 2019 from 28 to 38. So that's our point-in-time count, and they will do that again, I believe, in 2024. They do it every 2 years. They missed a year because of COVID. So a little success story. The picture on the left, actually both of these pictures are the same location. They're Harbor Boulevard, just north of Edinger, in between Lilac and Edinger. It's on the west side of the street. This was a long-term location that we put a lot of time and resources and dedication into it. On the left is how it started, and on the right is the largest it got over a long period of time. And I'm happy to report that for a couple months now, this is what it's looked like. It's all cleaned up. The individual had self-selected not to return to the site, so we're very happy with that. That is a great success story for the city of Fountain Valley. So some future considerations. We're currently working on a collaborative navigation center startup with the cities of Westminster and Garden Grove. There's some more information on that in the flyer. We also have our outreach and engagement contractor that is going to come up for renewal at the beginning of the fiscal year. So we're going to engage in an RFP process to facilitate moving in that direction. And there's a lot of funding opportunities that are out there that we're looking at. We looked at we're actually in a grant period for PLHA funding, the housing funding. There's some ARPA money that's available, and we keep hearing from the state of California that they're going to start pushing some funds for homeless, but we haven't seen them yet. So that is my presentation, and I am available for any questions. The other directors that helped me out with this are also in the room. This was a very collaborative effort. It wasn't just one person. Megan helped us with the form. That's why it looks so good. So thank you. So we're all here for any questions if you have any.
Thank you very much, Chief Shepherd and staff. And questions from council? Sure.
Thanks, Chief. Great report. And so if I read this correctly, we had 38 in our point-in-time count back in February of 2022. And since then, we've assisted 40 people. So we've kind of, I mean, I know they come and go, but I think that's a pretty good track record.
Yeah, if you do the math on that, you would think that we wouldn't have a problem in our city anymore, but that's not it. They do come and go, as you stated. We get some transient ones that come in from other cities, like LA. They're pushing really hard on trying to relocate some of their homeless, and they're coming down our way.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just keep doing what's right, and I believe we have the right approach towards this. It's care and compassion, and make sure we're putting resources available so that we can help get them into housing and not look at the enforcement model.
When will the Garden Grove shelter be ready to go?
It's supposed to be completed sometime at the end of the year.
End of the year.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief
Thank you.
Shepherd. Public comments.